All right, we got everybody in. Coach, whenever you're ready to start with the opening statement, you can go ahead, and we'll take questions.
You know, the two sides to the coin is, you know, understanding at its core when you play without your backcourt, then you know the challenges become greater. And not having both Charlie and Javon meant, you know, a lot because our rotations are different. Guys are playing longer minutes, and not to mention they've been, you know, throughout the season our two leading scorers. So that was a challenge. I thought both Kobe and Ray in starting roles and the rest of the guys filled in admirably. You know, the game plan was to attack when we could and be patient when we couldn't. And I thought that they managed that really well. You know, for 39 minutes, it was a back and forth battle. We'd had the lead and they were hanging around and they tied it up and we'd go ahead and, you know, they would nip and tuck. And throughout the course of the second half, Mamu Kelishvili, you know, showed why he's one of the best players in this league or in the country, because he decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. He got himself to the line and made some baskets. You know, we went to the basket really strong, and that kind of hurt us. But, you know, overall, I thought, you know, for those 39 and even plus minutes that we battled, you know, again, I think we've talked about it during the course of the year. Our turnovers, especially at inopportune times, is what it would cost us at the end.
We'll go ahead and take questions. Lawrence, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, you know, you guys had those two timeouts when it was 55-52 still, and you guys weren't able to score off them. You know, what do you think went wrong in terms of the offensive execution coming out of those timeouts?
Well, you know, just that we didn't get good enough execution, and you know, you gotta, when you're doing it, not to put it on one person, but you know, we made a little bit of an adjustment what we normally do. We were setting, you know, those screens up top with Romeo and Paulie, or in this case, Nick, and we made a little slight adjustment. You know, we didn't adjust to it as well. They made a good adjustment coming out of a timeout. But, you know, it was a call to attack, and, you know, they did a good job of preventing that. And so, you know, there was the shot clock that all of a sudden came into play. And as opposed to going downhill, we went more to the right where Kobe exchanged one of those possessions that you talk about with Ray and couldn't get into the paint, which is what we wanted to do, and go inside out and either get an open, clean look with an inside out pass, or, you know, something that I had been telling them to do throughout the second half, which is to, if you're not going to give it to the big man role, and then the way their big men were playing, particularly Obiago, that you could shot fake them and then get something out of it from there. And we obviously didn't execute the way we needed to.
Next question from Steve Newhouse. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Dave, I wanted to get your thoughts on Paulie and his play tonight, and, you know, why you weren't able to get him an opportunity late in the game.
Say that again?
Why you weren't able to get him an opportunity to score late in the game.
Opportunity to do what?
To score inside.
Oh, well, you know, again, you know, what he, before he came out, first of all, I took him out because of fatigue. He asked to come out. So he wasn't in the game a little bit late because of that. Secondly, you know, he scores the way he scores best, and even when it's back to the basket, is roll to post up or those kinds of things, you know, on screen and roll situations. And he did with the jump hook before he came out. And then, you know, obviously we didn't do that with Nick in the game. So I don't know if it's exactly what you're talking about, but, you know, those opportunities to get the ball down low, no matter what they are, whether it's to Nick or to Paulie, as you mentioned, or driving the ball, or passing the ball inside, is what, particularly late in the game, what I was looking to try to do.
Another question from Lawrence. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, you know, Coach, you guys had, you know, I believe 46 points with about 12 minutes to play, and then only scored 6 more points the rest of the game. How do you kind of explain, you know, the performance down the stretch in the final 12 minutes?
Yeah, just what we've been talking about. It's just, you got to execute better, particularly when you get later stages of the game. I thought, for most of the game, Kobe handled the team really well. I thought that he got a little bit less aggressive, but that's the first time he's ever been in that spot. And I think the last thing I'll do is put it on any of those guys' shoulders. And Seton Hall is really good because they've been good for a while. So if you take Reynolds, for instance, he's been at this for 3 or 4 years constantly, as Kale has, and so that situation is nothing new to them on offense or defense. It's a pretty brand new situation for Cole or even Ray, because he's been with us for spots of a half a year, and so trying to get exactly what you need to get against really good teams. What makes them really good is they're really, really experienced. And the late stages of any game that you play, if you watch basketball as much as I do, it's those experienced players that make experienced plays.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.